Look, you're 4 miles down in the Hadal zone, and the only thing between the global economy and a total blackout is a piece of glass the size of a garden hose. One accidental anchor drag from a dark fleet vessel, and your bank account, your GPS, and your entire digital life go dark. People think the cloud is in the sky. Nah, it's sitting in the mud, and it's completely unguarded. Today, we audit the 10 levels of undersea infrastructure. Level 1, the cable handshake. You think it starts with a boat? Forget it. It starts in a nondescript concrete shack on a beach in New Jersey or Marseille. This is the landing station. Thousands of miles of undersea fiber meet the terrestrial grid here. The logistics? It's a literal handshake between the ocean and the street. If this room overheals or the power fails, a whole continent stutters. Level 2, the repeater spacing. The signal doesn't just make it across the Atlantic. Every 50 to 100 kilometers, you need a repeater, a 3-foot-long, ton-and-a-half beryllium copper tube that boosts the light signal. Dropping these from a moving ship without snapping the line is a $500 million ballet. One bad weld on a repeater, and you're sending a repair ship back out at $100,000 a day. Level 3, the burial plow. In shallow water, you don't just lay cable, you hide it. We're talking about a 3-ton submersible plow that carves a trench into the seabed and tucks the cable in like a kid under a blanket. Why? Because a hungry shark or a stray fishing trawler is a billion-dollar liability. Level 4, the dark vessel watch. Here's where it gets greasy. In 2026, we've got ghost ships turning off their AIS transponders and loitering over choke points. The logistics of defending these lines involves shadow patrolling civilian contracted drones that shadow suspicious tankers for weeks. You aren't just a technician, you're a border guard for the internet. Level 5, the Hadal repair. Now we're deep, 6,000 meters plus. When a cable breaks here, you aren't sending a diver. You're using an ROV, a remotely operated vehicle, with robotic arms that have to perform microsurgery in pitch black, freezing pressure that would crush a tank. The logistics of coordinating a repair ship's position via satellite while a robot performs a splice in the abyss is Level 5 madness. Level 6, the Benthic sensor array. This isn't just about data, it's about ears. Level 6 is the shadow grid hydrophone arrays built into the cables to listen for submarines. You aren't just moving Netflix data anymore. You're part of a global sonar web. The logistics of keeping these sensors calibrated without the enemy knowing they're there is a cat-and-mouse game played in the mud. Level 7, the data fortress, subsea data centers. Why cool a server with expensive AC when you can sink the whole building in the Arctic Ocean? Level 7 is the subsea data center. Modular, nitrogen-filled pods drop to the seafloor. No humans, no oxygen to cause fire, just cold water. The logistics? You have to design a building that doesn't need a repairman for 5 years. Because if a hard drive fails, you aren't calling IT, you're calling a crane. Level 8, the power umbilical. Deep sea mining rigs need juice, and lots of it. Level 8 is the umbilical. We're talking high voltage, DC lines bundled with chemical injection tubes and fiber optic. These are the veins of the industrial ocean. If an umbilical kinks, the entire multi-billion-dollar rig above it becomes a floating graveyard. Level 9, the pressure neutralization hub. At this level, we're looking at automated subsea warehouses. These are docking stations where autonomous underwater vehicle OVs swap batteries and upload data without ever coming to the surface. It's an entire industrial park on the seabed, managed by AI. The logistics of swapping a battery at 3,000 psi is a feat of engineering that makes space travel look like a walk in Central Park. Level 10, the Abyssal node. This is the top tier. The Abyssal node is where international cables from different continents intersect at a seafloor hub. It's the grand central station of the abyss. If you control the node, you control the flow of information for half the planet. The security is classified, the logistics are impossible, and the stake, total global dominance.